So what is up, everybody? I am the man of many hairstyles, and I am going to be making another rant today. Yesterday I posted a couple videos on my channel about Pokemon Go. So before we get started, I just want to say that part one uploaded, then part three, then part four, then part it was a mess, and then part three got a copyright hit claim thing in the audios that ain't gonna stop the Pokemon journey. But the point is that it's just a mess. If you guys want me to continue on that series, let me know in the comments of this video. Outside of that, let's get to my official Pokemon Go rant. Now, actual problems with the game. I don't really have much to complain about. The game on release date, like, is breaking charts right now, literally, and it's doing very, very well. I personally thought that the game would suck just because of the fact that in the past, Pokemon has tried to release a similar thing with Google Earth, and it failed on its ass. So I thought this game was going to fail on its ass. Now, the real complaints that I have on this game is, first of all, it scares me. It scares me that America got a hold of this game before other countries, which doesn't make sense. Like, Europe and Canada don't have it, and usually EU gets everything before NA. So that kind of worries me. And then you check where this project was based out of, and it's actually based out of a suite in San Francisco. So a couple of people in San Francisco got together and made this awesome project, which apparently is doing amazing, except it's a couple of people. It's not like the whole corporation with their backbone on it. So essentially, the servers are down. They're having problems right now because essentially it's an amazing good idea, it's just not funded. So first thing I need to point out is I'm a little pissed off at the Nintendo company because of the fact that they didn't put more money into backing this, because I really like, it's doing very well. It's a very good idea, it's doing very well. It's just not funded enough, in my personal opinion. These are all opinions. This is an opinion piece. If this is not the facts, then I apologize. But the way I see it is that the servers would not have a problem on day one if they gave more attention to the game, which they definitely will do now. And they're definitely gonna make a bunch of microtransactions, and they're gonna make a bunch of little accessories and shit to ready your phone. And kids are getting hit by cars and whatnot, so they gotta introduce. They're gonna. I bet you, they're gonna introduce some kind of fucking like headset thing where you can see the actual Pokemon. You can still catch it on your phone and shit, but you're gonna have to, like, you could probably buy a glasses eyepiece, probably like $50 or something, which really shouldn't be too hard just to produce the hologram of a Pokemon. It really shouldn't be too hard, and it doesn't even have to be that. They already have a watch, and the watch is gonna go off and stuff. So first, my first complaint is the fact that it is underfunded, even though it's doing very well. But now, because it's underfunded and it's doing very well, it's gonna continue to do very well. But they're gonna start using this as like a leech for so many things. You have people that work. See, the funny thing about this is the children that grew up with Pokemon are now people that are employed. So you have the kids running around Target and people working and shit, and people getting married, people going into labor, and they're playing Pokemon. So it's so funny to see that the people that are most deeply in love with Pokemon are now actually our current employed young or adults, 20s and 30s, and they're just doing stupid shit. But it's so beautiful because it's something like, I've walked outside, and for the first time and I don't know how long, I've actually talked and communicated with people just because we have this common interest. So I love it that it's bringing people together, but the fact that the working class is directly who this game is targeting rather than younger children, I think that's just hilarious. I've spent more time with my brother just going outside to places, and I told him, I was like, this is gonna lower obesity so much. You have kids that are like going outside in the middle of the night to walk 3 miles to hatch their egg and shit. I think it's just beautiful. So first rant, underfunded. Second rant, the types. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. As it states right now, I'm about 3,000% sure, we are only working with the original Gen 1 151, okay? If we are only working with the 151, why the fuck are there fairy types? Why the fuck are there fairy types? Because let me just explain to you something, at least from, this is all opinion piece, right? The way it used to work was, the reason Gen 2 introduced dark types was because sidekicks in Gen 1 were psychotic. People like Mewtwo were psychotic. They were overpowered. There was no way to counterplay them. You had bugs, but bugs are getting smashed on because they were really weak. So anyways, the first rant is, why is there, or the second point was, why are there fairy Pokemon if there's no good dark types? Because this has nothing to do with counterplay. Like, literally, it's just you got very Digglypuff thing, and it's stupid because now Dragonite can get countered by, like, I think a Clefable, I'm gonna guess. but Mewtwo, when it gets released, is gonna be broken as shit. Which means that they're gonna need to hurry because as soon as they're gonna have events to release Pokemon, they're gonna be like event Pokemon as usual. As soon as they release the Mewtwo, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, and Mewtwo is gonna be overpowered again because there's gonna be no way to counterplay him, and so they're gonna rush the fact that they need to produce more gens. They're gonna need to rush these little DLC packs or micro expansions and all this other shit, which is is no, no, no. Either they should have just released it and you could have caught all the Pokemon, or they could have just kept fairy types out of it. It's the second complaint about the fairy type. Second definite complaint about that. The other than that, I don't really have complaints. I think that the fairy thing is bullshit, and I think that the underfund thing is bullshit. But no, I've already made 4 videos about the damn thing. I've spent time with my brothers. We walk around listening to Route 12 music or Root or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, we just play Pokemon Go. You know, as someone who found League of Legends about a month and a half ago, and I got obsessed with the game to the point where I was playing like 30 matches a day on the game, if not more. And then I found Pokemon Go, and I'm not even interested in League because of this. Like to be completely honest, they've done it in such a way. The people are upset about the battle system and whatnot, but I'm not really upset about that. Why? Because no one has to EV train. No one has to be a stat whore. No one has to play it for. It's not even about competition. It's more or less about community at this point. I think that's really cool. I love the fact that they didn't incorporate stats into the game. I know that a lot of people are going to argue about that, but I feel like some of these strong points, some of these real big strong points, that first really gets you physically active, and I think that's just wonderful. Second of all, I think the fact that there are no stats in the game reduces the amount of competition involved. It still kindles that flame. It still lets people enjoy it. It just people aren't so competitive about it. Like I hate the fact that you can you buy Stardust to level people up?
You're making a rant about Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I'm looking at its strong points and its weak points. One of the weak points I said was the whole fairy type thing,
Move.
because there's no point for the fairies to be in the game if we're only working with the first generation one. So, anyways, I love the fact that it's not as competitive. Fact that I mean, if you do want to be competitive, it's probably going to come out of your pocket. I think that's another downside. You have to like actually pay for level ups. I think it'd be cool if you could buy Pokeballs and you could buy items and stuff, but I don't think it'd be cool that you could buy Stardust. I feel like if you buy Stardust to pay for, if it's a pay to win system, that's what that's the actual term. If it's a pay to win system, I feel like I could get abused, and I'd love to check it right now, but you know what, the servers are down. So if it is a pay to win system, I'm definitely going to be upset about that. I feel like the game should reward those that play it more rather than rewarding those. Is it frozen? I don't know if this is gonna freeze afterwards. OBS isn't open. It's a Skype. Let's close Skype. So, anyways, if it is a pay to win system, that's gonna definitely be another con. But for right now, the only issues that I see is really that fairy type shit and the whole the other thing. I don't know what the other thing was. It was, and I feel like it was a really good point, but I have not eaten in like 2 days, and this is going shopping at the market right now. So we're gonna have some food to eat. Anyways, but I do like the way that they incorporated different things. Like for once, I thought that people were going to abuse the egg hatching system, and I really like that it's tracked by GPS rather than like, for example, my phone has a walking thing tracker meter, and if I just shake my phone like this, my phone's gonna assume that I'm walking, and I like that they're tracking it by the GPS, and it has to be within a certain range. So I was like, okay, what if someone just jumps in their car and fucking drives places? But it's like I think that they did everything beautifully. Oh, they underfunded. That's what it was. I think they did everything beautifully. I think that they're continuing to do it properly. I just hope that I hope when we consider meta, there's nothing that's gonna break the game. By removing stats from the game, I just love that. It's gonna be CP and it's completely randomized. Like I got my starter Pokemon who's still like 10, and then I got like a Staryu who's like 180. So I think it's really cool the way that the CP is working. I just hope it's not a pay to win system. I hope that you gotta grind. And for example, I love that it rewards people who, even if you like, for example, say I'm out of luck. Yesterday I caught I think like 8 or 9 Pidgeys, which isn't bad at all because if I catch 2 more Pidgeys or 1 more Pidgey, literally I got a Pidgeot. So I think it's cool that even if you get the repetition, there's still like a payoff. I think they did everything beautiful. I think everything's working really nice. The battle system, I It's not turn-based, so it's more interactive. I like that. But for example, when I'm out at 10 o'clock in the night and I have to go to a gym, and then my hands are too cold to constantly be swiping like crazy, then that's kind of difficult. But all in all, I like the game. I think I like the game. I think I like it. I don't like that it is restricted to internet because of the fact that I know a lot of people are Wi-Fi dependent. I know that there are going to be people who literally go pay their so like guys go switch to T-Mobile. They have unlimited internet. I know that there's going to be people that need internet a lot more now because of the fact that you guys are going to have limited data usages and whatnot. And then if you want to play the game, you have to use data and you have to use GPS, which is just going to kill your phone even faster. It's going to be a mess in the beginning, but I feel like they got to have a trade-off somewhere. If you're going to have to use your internet and your GPS at the same time, they got to have some kind of trade-off because a lot of people are Wi-Fi dependent. For someone like me, like I can only go so far. I'm actually running around everywhere with my brother's hotspot, so it's kind of funny. But all in all, good. There's some bads, but for the most part, there's more good than bad. Give me a second. Ennis, you're going shopping, right? Have a good day.